Jason Palliser here, and we are going to talk about one of my favorite subjects of all time as far as real estate investment goes. Okay, so we're going to talk about tax delinquent properties. Okay, it is no secret that when we're hired by big companies to grab motivated sellers, and we do it 30 different ways because we're hired to take over a city, not just focus on one niche. We need to get every conceivable off-market deal, and that's what we do. But when we go through it, out of our 30 different techniques to win real estate deals and be solutions for homeowners, it is no secret that tax delinquent properties are my favorite lead source of all time. And so I want to break down why and why you should, if you're listening to this video, I want you to take extensive notes, and I'm quite certain when we are done, it will be your favorite lead source as well. Or I've made the strongest case humanly possible for it to be your favorite lead source. So I promise you that if you start to focus on this niche just a little bit more, or not just make it your favorite niche, which is kind of what I want, but that you will make more money in real estate with certainty, because not all leads are created equal, my friends. So don't forget, I know you're enjoying the content. Click subscribe, hit the bell, so when we drop more good stuff to turn you into a super investor, you're notified immediately. Okay, so let's dive into tax delinquent leads. Okay, there's all sorts of motivated seller leads, but we're talking about tax delinquents. Why is it my favorite? Let's lay the foundation for why you should be considering this today, right now, as you listen to this. As soon as we're done, you should be going to grab delinquent tax properties in any city that you choose, any city or county. Here's why. 1, tax delinquents. Okay, what does that mean? That means the property owner hasn't paid their taxes, their property taxes. Okay, why is that a big deal? Why is it important? Here's why. Start to clear your head. Cement this in your brain. Do states want their money? Do states want their money? Yes. Now, sometimes people are delinquent, right? Bad things happen to good people. And here's what I already know. There's hundreds, if not thousands, in every county in America that have not paid their property taxes. Well, states want their money. I don't even have to sell you on that. You know, right? So what do they do? What do states do? The people in charge put laws in place to make sure they're going to get their money. So why are tax delinquent properties my favorite type of lead source to go after for motivated sellers? Here's why. There's laws in place that make sure that the states are going to get their money, which means that puts a lot of pressure on a homeowner. Example, depending on what state or city and county you live in, you can look it up on your own once you're done with this video. If you're 1 year behind, 2 years behind, 3 years behind, 4 years behind, whatever it is in your particular state and or city, municipality, they put laws in place stating that if you are this amount of time behind, we are going to go ahead and either do a tax lien against the property, which means now all of a sudden it's on title. That lien's going to get paid one way or another. And or if you're a tax deed state, they just do a tax deed sale. So they notify people, like in my primary market where I invest, in St. Louis, in the city of St. Louis, they go to tax sale in August once you're 3 years behind. And in July, they release the list saying, hey, here's all the people that are 3 years behind. Come join us at the courthouse steps because we're selling their houses. So why am I telling you this? Because that means this. No matter what, you listening? No matter what, they're getting their money. They're getting their money. There's nothing a homeowner can do about it. They are going to sell that house, or they're going to sell a tax lien. Now, if you're a tax lien state, and again, I'm going to go tax lien, tax deed later, they just sell the lien. So somebody owns the lien, which means the state got their money because somebody bought the lien. And then later on, if you own that lien, you could do certain things with it. We'll talk about that in another video. That's why you should subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when we drop that one. Okay. Having said that. Okay. Now, here's some other things that are important to you. You may or may not know this. tax deeds and tax deed sale, when it gets to the point to where the liens turn into a deed or it's a tax deed sale, like I said, because they're going to get their money, guess what happens? The tax deeds supersede the first mortgage because they don't want to be in second place or third place. Because if the mortgage on the property is more than what the house is worth, because sometimes houses are upside down versus what you owe versus what it's worth, right? So, well, that ain't going to sit well with the state that wants their money, right? So what do? They put laws in place that say, hey, the tax deed sale supersedes the mortgages, which basically essentially could wipe out the mortgage. So now let's go back to why delinquent properties, as far as delinquent property tax, why are those my favorite leads to go after? Here's why. Because the states are going to get their money. It'll supersede the first mortgage. And so mortgage companies are going to hate that. If you were a mortgage company, be like, I'm going to lose my lien. I'm going to lose my $200,000 loan. You're not going to pretend you're the bank at home. Pretend you are Bank of America. Are you going to lose a $200,000 lien because John Smith didn't pay his taxes? No. Okay. So what are you going to do? And here's where we come full circle together as best friends. What are you going to do as a bank? You're going to foreclose. If you know that the money you put out on a property, that lien could be wiped away at a tax sale, you're going to foreclose on it. You would, wouldn't you? I would. Pretend your name is you. It's Jason and you bank. We have a $200,000 loan against the house and they're behind on taxes. And because the states put laws in place to take the property, they're going to go ahead and exercise that right and we lose. We're not going to let that happen. You and I are going to foreclose. So guess what? Why are delinquent properties that are severely behind on their taxes, property taxes, why are they my favorite leads of all time to go after? Because when they're marching towards tax sale, when they're severely behind, most of the time, I can't tell you 99% of the time or whatever, but most of the time, those properties that we go after to talk to the homeowners are free and clear of mortgages. Did you hear me? I'll repeat. Is this working? Tick, tick, tick. I repeat, they're free and clear of mortgages because the mortgage company would have already foreclosed on them. So the ones that are still left that are marching towards tax sale, okay, they're marching towards tax sale, typically don't have a mortgage against them. So think about this. Logically, as an investor, as a smart investor, savvy investor, responsible CEO of your business, when you can focus your effort on 20 or 30 different ways to grab off-market properties and make some money and make a living as a full-time real estate investor, why would you not focus your efforts on and play in one particular sandbox, the delinquent property tax sandbox? Why would you not play in a sandbox to where, by and large, when the properties are severely behind, there's no mortgage against it? You know what that means to me? 1 gazillion times easier to create a win-win solution between you and the homeowner. Did you hear me? When there's so much equity because there's no mortgage against it, typically, then you could strike a deal. You could do owner financing. You could do a partnership deal, lease option, cash offer, tons of stuff, buy, rent back, all these things that you can do because there's lots of equity. Do you get that? So if you're going to expend any energy whatsoever in your marketplace and you have all these different decisions to make where you could focus your efforts to give you the biggest bang for your buck, then why on earth would you not go after ones that are a known culprit for not having mortgages against them or very little mortgages against them? It's just a smart move. It's a smart business move on your part. So hopefully that's starting to resonate with you. Do you see why this is my favorite lead source of all time? I literally just did a case study a week ago, or even less than a week ago, a case study on one that we closed that was a 6-figure deal. We grabbed that one, tax-delinquent, and we're going to fix it up for Airbnb, but we decided, the market's pretty hot. We're going to go ahead and sell this thing, and made 6 figures on it. That's a tax-delinquent deal, my friends. Do you see why we focus on that? So what are some things that I could tell you about that? Okay. Now, if you're going to go after that niche, okay. Again, no secret. You can put in the comments. Some of you have already trained before. We put together a blueprint for you and to take over your marketplace, which isn't a fair fight. But if you are on our team already, then you know, and you can put in the comments if you're one of those individuals, you know, by far the way that we attack delinquent tax is not even remotely fair. So what do we do? How do we streamline this for you? Okay. Here's one tip for you to streamline it. And I always joke and lay it out like this so that it really sinks in for you. Because we get hit all the time with, well, shoot, you know what, Jason, before you got our hands on our business, we thought we had a lead generation problem. Now I just realized in this one niche alone that I can make a living just in this one niche. And but Jason, there's 6,000 delinquent tax properties in my area. Mike's laughing off camera. And so you separate by the ones that are most severely behind. Meaning this, I always tell everybody this way because then it really hits home for you. 1 year behind could be an accident, right? 1 year behind on taxes, on your property taxes, could be an accident. More than likely not. Here's what I know in the history of mankind. 2 years behind has never, ever in the history of mankind been an accident. That's on purpose. And let me tell you something else that I know, focusing on this niche at a high level in 100 plus cities for a extended amount of time, is that for you to be missing property taxes and 2 years behind or more, lots of other bad stuff has happened. You've fallen sick, sometimes lost your job. The house needs work. The roof leaked and now you can't even live there. Now it has mold, whatever the situation may be. Lots of bad situations happen for you to be multiple years behind on your property taxes. And so if that's the case, then, so think about this. What I just told you. Now let's cement this. States are going to take the house. Most of them don't have mortgages. Lots of equity. Oh, and for them to be multiple years behind on their property tax, lots of other bad stuff has happened. They don't have the money to fix the house. So why the hell would they be paying the property taxes when they know they don't even have the money to fix the window, the roof, the whatever? Do you see the pickle that they're in? So then you should be talking to them. As the professional in your city, you should be talking to them. But what do all investors do? We teach you this inside our 2-day blueprint. I've tested 100 variations of ways to motivate, get in front of, paint the picture, whatever you want to say, to get delinquent property tax homeowners to respond. And we do it 10 light years ahead of whatever every other investor in town does. Because what do? Hey, before you lose your house at tax sale, let me put some cash in your pocket. Folks, they have 100 of those letters and postcards. Mike's off camera going, they have 100 of those. Okay. You like those sound effects that I add into it? So they have 100 of those. So now it's just a lottery system. You're one of 100 of saying the same crap. So we approach it from a 100% different standpoint than everybody else. Okay. Complete about face, a 180 turn. So what do? We developed, and we're 70 variations deep, if you can imagine. So what does that mean to you? I hope that sinks into your brain. We're 70 variations deep. I know what wins by a mile. Okay. So what do? We approach them with a tax assistance program. And on your end, your brain might be set on fire. And you're going to, try and find the end of the earth, why try and figure it out? Why not just schedule a call at 2dayblueprint.com and we can talk about it? Like, duh. Here's why. We have a full-blown program with approvals, denials, tax loans, tax assistance, maximum contributions, all these things. Tax assistance code TAC 424001. You might want to try and look it up. Okay. All these different things, a full-blown program. And guess what? When the homeowners call us, they're like, yeah, I'm calling about tax assistance code TAC 424001. They don't say, oh, you're just one of those flippers. Make your offer. I know you want to try. No, they actually tell us all their problems and we solve it because our approach is vastly different, far superior than everybody else. So we want to help do the same for you. So if you found this valuable, this better be your new favorite niche, because if not, then I'm going to fly to your city.
Best
okay.
Conversations ever.
Yeah. Best conversations ever once they implemented it. So like, subscribe. We'll see you on the inside. We're trying to help you do this at a higher level. Tax delinquent properties should be a niche that every investor that watches this video should focus on till the end of time, but just do it with a superior approach because I don't want you to throw away money. Okay. Don't waste an effort. Do it the right way from day one. See you on the next video. Bye.